I wanted to call the fight off. That's why I would call the fight off if I could now, because I'm going into unknown territory. The 43 fights I've had in the past, I've always known what I was dealing with. I don't know what I'm dealing with tonight. I'm fighting someone who is mechanically orientated, and that is just an unknown area. It's not fair that I should be put into this situation.
I don't know of too many top sports people that don't employ, I won't say hypnotists, but certainly man motivators or sports psychologists. This is quite common in today's world. I don't believe it gives an edge. It certainly doesn't give a physical or a technical edge. If it makes people believe in themselves, if they need that type of mental backup, you know, I don't see anything wrong in it. I suppose you could argue that Eubank is probably his own best self-hypnotist, that he motivates himself to such an extent, and that's why he's been involved in so many titanic struggles. From my point, it's no great advantage. I think it just clears the mind, and then obviously the job has still got to be done.
Is there any such thing as hypnotism? Yes, there is. You know, and if I pull out the fight now, then I lose credibility, is what I'm told by my manager, Barry Hahn. I don't want to lose credibility. So tonight I'm going to be switched on, and I'm going to be careful, and I'm going to be aware of everything that's happening and what I see in front of me. But if I had my way, I'd walk away from this fight. And that's not being coward, that's being sensible.
Well, let's get down to the Steve Collins dressing room now. Talk about dressing the part. The Shamrock tells its own story for St. Patrick's weekend. Collins has had 4 weeks to prepare in Las Vegas for this one and obviously looks well prepared physically. But what about the mental side? He has refused to say anything to us tonight about the hypnotism, but Dr. Tony Quinn will be in his corner. This is the man who's been doing the work on Collins from the mental point of view, and Gary Norman has been to speak to him.
The issue has been raised that sometimes the mind tells the body when to stop, and people are worried that he may go on through the pain threshold and it could cause Steve some damage, and people are worried about it.
Yeah. Well, I think in something like boxing, the mind plays a big part in it. I mean, a lot of people in situations where they're very excited may actually feel no pain anyway. Many boxers, I don't think, feel pain till afterwards. Now, it's true he will feel less pain than he normally would. I mean, that is definitely true. He'll also find that he's able to move much easier. For instance, one of the things we do is that I've slowed down, so when he sees the punches coming at him, they look about 3 times slower than normal. And we've done this in the training sessions and it's worked very well. We've also made the target 3 times bigger. So it's much easier for him to be aware of what's happening. But of course, I've told him at the same time, and this is instilled in him, that he will be very aware of all dangers. In fact, he'd be much more aware than normal of any danger that may be to him.
Well, it all sounds very safe.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Collins came in at 11 stone 13 and 3/4 of a pound. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Eubank at the scale, 11 stone 13 and 3/4 of a pound, the same as Steve Collins.
Both men are experienced in the big fight atmosphere, and maybe that's just as well if the weigh-in is anything to go by.
That's why I wanted to call the fight off. That's why I would call the fight off if I could now, because I'm going into unknown territory. The 43 fights I've had in the past, I've always known what I was dealing with. I don't know what I'm dealing with tonight. I'm fighting someone who is mechanically orientated, and that is just an unknown area. It's not fair that I should be put into this situation. Coward? You've seen what I've done in the past. I've proven what my heart is, you know. As I said to you before, I don't want another man fathering my children because I'm not capable, you know. The worst thing that can happen to me is another man to father my children. Do you understand? That is the worst. The only way that I could accept that is if I was in my grave.
So for once, Chris Eubank, although you're always a little bit sort of reverent of your opponent and a little bit fearsome, there was a little bit of genuine fear, I sense.
There's always genuine fear, but this is the type of fear I don't understand. Normal fear, I understand getting into a ring with a man who is trained to be the best he can be. But under hypnosis, basically he will be more mentally. I mean, and if you talk to anyone in the business, you'll get to understand that it's 85% mental, because it's only endurance. You know, how far will I go? What am I prepared to put up with? How much punishment am I prepared to put up with? Now, if mentally you are in a trance, or every time you should stop, you're going to keep on going, what's going to happen? There has to be a line drawn here, and this is why I'm taking up with the Board of Control and the PBA. This is wrong.
But in your own mind, you're 100%. Everything's been fine.
Oh yeah.
We'd expect 100%
Sure.
from Christopher.
Of course, yeah, you'll get 100% from me, but you'll get more so now, because you know a very specific provocation has been given. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm in that corner. If I walk away from the fight now, they say, well, you're a coward. Or they say that, you have no more credibility. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't be in that ring tonight. This is wrong. This is unfair. That's legal cheating. That's not right.
I know you very well, and I've never seen you as intense as I have over the past few days. How are you feeling now?
Basically, I'm prepared for this fight better than I've ever prepared for a fight in my entire career. Mentally and physically, I'm ready.
And what do you think's going to happen?
I'm going to win. New chance.
Well, that is in earnest, isn't it, Steve Collins? It's been a long road for him to this night. His disappointments along the way, well, there have been one or two. He's fought for one.
He's 30 years old. He regards this fight as his gateway to millions. Now, I've covered this sport for a few years now, and I've rarely seen a fighter with the kind of manic intensity that Steve Collins brings to this contest. He says, it's not a gamble on me, it's an investment. I'll cover the losses of anyone who bets on me and loses. A real fight to get through the crowds for Collins in this sellout green Glens Arena. He's lost only 3 of his 31 contests, and those 3 defeats have been against world champions Mike McCallum, Reggie Johnson and Sambu Kalambe. A biggest ever purse of £150,000 for Collins tonight, and this is only his 4th fight in Ireland. He's been American-based for much of his career. And there's Eubank in his dressing room, oblivious to all of this and waiting his entrance. How's he look, Ben?
He looks very, very focused. You see him mouthing the words there, champ, champ. He's telling himself he's going to be the champ.
He really does believe it. Thunderous reception for the Celtic warrior, Steve Collins, the current WBO middleweight champion, looking to add the super middleweight belt here. And that is a man who believes he has a date with destiny tonight. But has he?
He's really trying to take in all the atmosphere. He's trying to become part of this support.
There are almost tears of emotion there from Collins. Now, the one thing I wonder about a little bit is, I remember Alan Minter getting into a really emotional state before he fought Marvin Hagler and fighting completely the wrong sort of fight and losing. Will that happen here as we await the entry of Chris Eubank? Collins has got his headphones on here. He's going to make sure that he's totally oblivious to anything Eubank tries by way of an entrance.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now welcome into the ring making the 15th defence of his title from Brighton, the reigning WBO super-middleweight champion of the world, simply the best, it's Chris Eubank!
Well, after all the threats of a walkout, the first thing to say is that Eubank is here to defend his title. Now, what has he got for a ring entrance this time? What next from the Christopher Livingston Eubank School of Outrageous Entrances? Well, tonight's edition features one of his beloved Harley-Davidson motorcycles. I'm told it's a 1975 Shovelhead, for those of you who know about those things, worth £10,000. Is he revving up for something special, as he did against Wharton?
Well, he seems very, very focused there. But meanwhile, in the other corner, Steve Collins is oblivious to this, sitting with a hood over his eyes, his earphones on, trying not to get psyched out.
Eubank's 20th World Championship fight tonight. No other British boxer in history can match that. In a moment, the famous theme tune that has greeted him through all those contests. Unbeaten in 10 years and 43 contests. In turn, he's been called dull, outrageous, lucky, brilliant, but always Chris Eubank has been big, big news and big box office. The security men are having to earn their court.
They certainly are. The atmosphere here is unbelievable.
I came over on the same plane as Chris Eubank, and when he got on the aeroplane, everybody burst into applause. So he must be gaining some popularity in his old age. He'll have to do something about that. Now look at Steve Collins, shutting his mind off to the entire episode. What a picture that is.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Obviously, he thinks this entrance has a lot to do with putting Eubank's opponents off. That's why he's got his head down. He doesn't want to see any of it. He's got his game plan in his mind, and he wants to go through with it.
As always, he's milking it for everything it's worth, Eubank. Some people say all this is over the top. It is literally there. But I think, quite honestly, the punters expect it and like it. So the showmanship is over. We await what should be a very exciting fight here for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship. This is the tale of the tape. Collins is 2 years older, very experienced. He's an inch taller, same weight, quarter of a pound inside the 12-stone limit. Eubank, slight reach advantage. Nothing very significant. There are the two records. Eubank is unbeaten in 43. Collins, though, with a good knockout record. in his 31 contests. A picture of concentration. And Eubank still strutting his stuff. Remember that Steve Collins has had a hypnotist concentrating his mind for this fight.
Where Barry Hearn, in association with Eastwood Promotions and Brian Peters, and sponsored by Acclaim Entertainment, bringing live on Sky Sports a super middleweight contest with a match made of 12 stone over 12 rounds, each of 3 minutes duration, for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the world. Your judges at ringside are Lisa Fernandez and Cesar Ramos of Puerto Rico, and Roy Francis of Buckland. Ladies and gentlemen, your WBO supervisor in charge is John Montana of the United States of America. Your Boxing Union of Ireland president is Mel Crystal, and the timekeeper for the contest is Dale Elliott of Ireland. When the bell rings and the action begins, the man in charge of this four-cornered ring is Ron Lipton of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing to you the boxers. First, in the red corner with the tartan shorts, he brings into the ring a fine, impressive record of 28 wins from 31 contests, 16 inside the distance, and making the scales yesterday at 11 stone 13 and 3/4 pounds. He comes from Dublin in Ireland. He's the reigning WBO middleweight champion of the world and challenger for the title, Steve Collins.
Collins, who's beaten good men like Kevin Watts, Tony Thornton and Chris Pyatt.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner with those gold shorts, with an incredible professional record of 41 wins and 2 draws from 43 contests, 19 inside the distance, and also weighing in at 11 stone 13 and 3/4 pounds. He comes into the ring as the former undefeated WBO middleweight champion of the world, and now the unbelievable, unpredictable, undefeated WBO super middleweight champion of the world from Brighton, Chris Eubank.
The psychological battle here is incredible.
12 rounds of boxing. I thank you.
Collins did not even hear his own ring introduction. Now that's the hypnotist, Dr. Tony Quinn, disrobing him there. He's taking off the headphones. Now he says that all this hypnotism is going to make him punch harder. He says he's going to change his footwork. I must say, I thought Steve Collins was a pretty good fighter without all of that.
And I'm not sure how good it is to sit in the corner for so long before a fight.
I remind you now, there is no standing 8 count. Avoid any controversy. If your friend is in trouble and you do not want me to stop the bout, you must show me clearly that you can continue. No matter what happens out here, it's strictly professional. Good luck to you all.
They touch gloves. The referee is Ron Lipton, who used to spar with Muhammad Ali. He's a big friend of Reuben Hurricane Carter and worked hard for his release and pardon. 2 Puerto Rican judges plus Britain's Roy Francis. Will they be called upon? What kind of Steve Collins are we going to see here? Round 1. Due to go 12 rounds, of course. Collins, it's reckoned he'd be best as the cagey counter-puncher, but straight away he wades in with the left hook. Eubank visibly disconcerted by the strange build-up to this fight over the last 24 hours. But coming off one of the best performances of his career against Henry Wharton last time. Collins says, if you want to know my tactics, I'll hit him, and when he goes to hit me back, I won't be there. Watch the head, says the referee. It's fascinating, Glenn, this one, isn't it?
It certainly is a fascinating contest.
Make no mistake about it. Collins has a world-class pedigree. He holds the WBO middleweight championship. Really letting go with the punches. Eubank was having none of that and took the necessary evasive action. Collins is moving up from middleweight to super middleweight. He should be comfortable enough, though, at the new weight, because he was always a bit tight at 11 stone 6. But Eubank may well have an edge in power, and Collins will be ill-advised, you would think, to try and trade with him.
And not much posturing from Eubank in the first round. He's trying to get off with that left jab to the body.
Eubank, you saw the interview beforehand, saying, I'm not quite sure what's going to be in front of me here tonight. Good left jab from Eubank, rather dived into it. Collins comes back, scores with a left hook of his own. Lunging in with the punches. Collins with a shamrock shaved into his hairstyle. And this, the night after St. Patrick's Night in Ireland. The atmosphere here rather like those Barry McGuigan fight nights in the King's Hall in Belfast. It's that passionate.
Collins comes straight back with punches every time Eubank leads.
Right hand counter from Collins worked for him. Eubank thought he was hit a bit low. Collins has had a tendency to cut up in some of his fights. I wonder if that just might be a factor here as well. And Eubank was cut a couple of times last year too. Eubank, who has this tendency to do just enough to win. Cagey opening round. Eubank struts back to the corner. What happens in the Collins corner, I wonder? Who does the talking? Does the hypnotist do the talking, or does Freddie King do it?
Well, I'm not sure. I think Freddie King is the man who should be doing the talking in the corner.
Well, it is Tony Quinn, the hypnotist, who's talking in there. That now, the textbooks say there should be one man giving the instructions in there, otherwise the fighter can get confused. Didn't quite hear what Tony Quinn was saying in that corner. Eubank, only Ronnie Davis will be talking to him. Man who's been by his side throughout his incredible reign. Not much in that opening round. Oh, right hand, and Collins. Is that counted as a knockdown? No, it's not.
Collins jumped up and shouted, no knockdown. But it did seem to be a glance of a right hand that caught.
Something of a chess match in there, because both of them are happier counter-punching. Good right uppercut inside from Eubank. And just listen to the roars from the Irish crowd when Collins comes forward like that.
He tried to get a few shots off their Collins, but none of them landed cleanly.
With his left lead, hence the maul. Well, I just wondered, after all the build-up to this, whether Collins would be like a bull at a gate, but he looks quite controlled, doesn't he?
He certainly does.
With that, the crowd at the back of the hall thought he did. It only hit the glove of Eubank. But those punches from Collins do get through. 3 or 4 of them. He's beginning to settle into his rhythm, Collins, here.
He is. He's getting off with shots first, and he's countering well.
Just doing that bit more than Eubank in this second round, Collins. And finding the range with the jab very well indeed.
Yes, that jab's working well.
Right hand from Collins. Got through as well. Eubank just looking a shade disorganized. If we're going to have another one of those close and highly debatable points decisions at the end of all this again. It's early yet, though, of course.
Because I just feel Collins is getting off with a few more shots in this round.
It's been a good round, this, for the Irishman. Eubank with a body shot on the valve, and I think that might have been Collins' round. Welcome back to the Green Glens Arena in the rural setting of Millstreet, where they once had the Eurovision Song Contest. Steve Collins, in that second round, just seemed to have the better of the argument, Glenn.
He did. He just got through with better shots, and he seemed to, as we see there, he just got Eubank in a little bit of a fluster at times.
Such was the build-up to this fight that there were 3,000 people at the weigh-in. You've never seen scenes like it. This is the third. Eubank often starts slowly and finishes strongly in his fights. Two world champions in there.
And they both look like they've prepared very well, very, very sharp, both boys.
Collins, who believes he has this extra punch power now, and looking to use it. His belief in victory was utterly complete. Collins, first off again, no counter from Eubank.
Still a bit like a chess match in these early moments, but I think Collins is making the better moves.
Often the problem that Eubank has had when things have got a bit tight for him is that his work rate simply hasn't been good enough, but that was a very, very good left uppercut from him. Picked that punch beautifully. Collins, though, is very, very resilient. He's never been stopped in his 31 contests. Combination from Collins.
With a good right hand. He's getting through with good shots, and Eubank calling him in.
Collins looking to tee off with the right hand. And Eubank just looking a shade disorganized there for a moment. Collins drives the right hand through. He's had a very good second half of this third round. There's no doubt about it. It's been an impressive start from the Irish challenger.
Yes, a very good start. He just landed there with a good little right hand counter.
Collins in his 4th World Championship fight, Eubank in his 20th. Punch just landed on the gloves, and Collins only lost his balance. He wasn't shaken up by that. Well, Collins is round, I think. Yeah. Welcome back amid this tremendous atmosphere here at Millstreet. Splendid start by Steve Collins, and this is some of his better work in round 3.
Yes, he's getting off with good shots, and he's the busier inside.
Collins is tending to just lunge a little bit when he comes forward, but so far, Eubank hasn't made him pay for that with the counters. Will Eubank just step up the gears a little? Collins is busy, busy, busy.
Again, Collins lunges in, but Eubank doesn't make him pay.
Collins with huge support here. His wife, his mother among them. Left was a good punch from Eubank. The counter came in that time, all right. Bit wild by Collins. But he's only got to take a forward step to get this crowd going, and then he just had a little word with Eubank in there and kind of leered at him for a moment. Right hand, good shot, Collins. Two technically accomplished operators in there. Is Collins getting it right strategically so far, Glenn?
Yes, I think he's doing a very good job. He's countering very well. And yet when he makes Eubank miss, he's going after him well and just getting the best of them little flurries.
Better from Eubank. Good jab. And he just shook his head at Collins as if to say, I made you miss with those, all right. And he made him miss 4, 5, 6 times there in succession. Get around for Eubank. The jab catching Collins off balance, that was all. Not hurt by it. That was the second time that's happened.
I think Eubank may just have stepped on his foot a little bit there to push him off balance. Unintentionally.
More elusive in this round, Eubank.
Yes, his defense has been a lot better.
Three, 4 punches rammed home by Collins. It was an elbow, I think, that made contact with Collins. That's why he winced a little bit.
He comes straight back with a couple of good jabs.
Into the 4th round. And Eubank did better in that 4th round, I think.
Yes, I think he was happy with that round. His defense was certainly better. Collins didn't get through with the shots that he wanted to.
Feint. When you take it to the ropes, feint. And then when he moves, whack him. Left hook, right cross, or right hook, left cross. Now, come on, let's get it right. When he take it to the ropes, feint. Make him move.
Well, Collins has made a good start, but Eubank had his best round yet, I think, in that 4th round. He was harder to hit and did catch Collins with 1 or 2 counters. Closest round, but I think maybe it might have been Eubank's. There's Glenn's card.
Yes, I thought Eubank just did more. His defense was better and just picked with his own counters to win that round. But it's a very, very close fight.
Ronnie Davis, the former Southern Area champion, in the corner, has this love-hate relationship with Eubank. This is the 5th. Due to go 12, of course. A decent right-hand body punch from Eubank in that exchange. He gets through with the right hand as well. It's be interesting to see what effect it might have on Collins when Eubank lets go with his heavier artillery, if he manages to do that.
Eubank was picking his punches well there, but Collins landed with a very good right hand.
It's cat and mouse, isn't it? Counter punches fight.
It certainly is, like a chess game.
Times both waiting for the other to lead off and look for the counter. Collins, who's fought 19 times in the USA, against only 3 times in Ireland, but you'd never know that from the kind of support he's getting here from this 8,000 crowd crammed into this Millstreet Arena. Oh, right hand was a good one from Collins. Short, clubbing punch. Watch the use of the knee, I think the referee was saying to Eubank. Pulled his knee up in that exchange. Collins gets through again, he's fast.
Very good shots, eh? He did seem to hurt Eubank a little bit there with them punches.
Collins having another good round there. Referee unhappy about use of the head by Collins. And the right hand was an excellent punch with great hand speed from Collins on the counter. He looks a man in control at the moment, Collins. That was low, but not too damaging from Collins.
Yes, this is a good part of the fight for Collins. He's getting his shots off well. He just seems to be the faster, and his shots are landing.
Has Eubank got the answers? Here, we're going to find out. Plot thickening. Welcome back. The face of the champion, but a champion with some problems here. Chris Eubank, not for the first time in his reign.
There's some good shots from Collins. He got through very well there with the left, right, and the left again, putting his shot together well. And it just seemed to hurt Eubank slightly there.
Collins boxed quite beautifully in that 5th round. Now the 6th. Eubank looked for the fast start, but Collins had an immediate riposte.
Good right hand from Eubank there. He's got to do something a bit special. He's got to take the play away from Collins in this round, I feel.
He does have that capacity, doesn't he, to find an extra gear, though, in his fights. And it'll be interesting to see whether he can manage to do that here. Collins feels he's been ignored for too long, left on the fringes of things. He wants to break into the big money. He says boxing's the only way he knows how to provide a decent living for his wife and 3 children. And he's letting it all flow out here on this, the biggest fight night of his life. Again, a terrific right hand from Collins. I'll tell you what, Eubank has got some real problems in there.
He certainly is. Collins just getting his shots off that shade quicker. Better work inside there from Collins as well.
Any thoughts that Collins's head might have been messed up by the clinical hypnosis? I think you can put those to one side. He looks very controlled, and he's boxing quite superbly to his fight plan at the moment.
Yes, last night he seemed a little bit out of control, but tonight he's very much in control.
I think focused is the in word, isn't it? Tremendous noise reverberates around the arena. Collins there, just saying he was hit round the back of the head, and gave a kind of little mock clap to Eubank as if to say, not impressed. Sharp work from the champion, though.
Yes, he called him in there and threw a right uppercut to the body.
And then that right over the top too. Eubank will definitely have to step up the work rate. Signs that he may just be beginning to do that in this 6th round. This is a better round for him. He needed a big round too. It's not been a big one, but it's been a better one. Coming up to the halfway point, and right with the bell approaching. 3 punches, ram home from Collins. Sight of the 2 boxers at the halfway stage. Who looks in the better shape to you as you look at your scorecard, Glenn?
I think you've got to say Collins. I thought Eubank won that last round. Collins finished it the better, but I thought Eubank made a miss throughout the round to just take it.
So at the moment you have Collins 1 round up.
1 round ahead.
This is the 7th. All still very much on the line here, but try telling these Irish fans that Collins isn't winning this fight, but it's not they who will decide. Collins wishes it was. That was a bit low from Collins, the jab.
Watch the elbow, Chris. Watch the elbow. Sorry. Okay. Watch that.
Eubank throwing that big right hand from the floor. Collins easily got out of the way of it.
For Eubank, this is his 5th fight in 8 months. You just wonder sometimes, can he carry on being superhuman, keep going back to the well time and time again to defend his title? Or is there a point where he just becomes a bit jaded? He looked jaded last autumn, but then came back with that great performance against Wharton. But this is another very, very stiff test. Collins is a tough, hard, battle-hardened fighter. Good counter from Eubank. The old cat and mouse game, and terrific reflexes as well from him that time in making Collins miss, and just making Collins look a little ragged in that exchange.
But I think Collins just doing a little bit more in this round. That was better jabs from Eubank.
Watch your head.
Really is fascinatingly poised, this.
You feel one good punch could sway this fight one way or the other.
Eubank does have this tremendous chin though, doesn't he? He's been through those trench warfare type battles in the past with Nigel Benn, the tragic fight with Michael Watson.
That's right, but Collins' chin has never let him down either.
Eubank punches the air at the end of that round, but it was another tight one. Well, in that last round, I think that one was a debatable round, but I think you gave it to Collins, Glenn.
I did. I just thought he threw more shots. A lot of them missed, but I thought he landed with more than Eubank did.
That's Glenn's scorecard. Collins 2 rounds up into the 8th round. Eubank, we think, with some work to do. Collins. There's been a lot of betting on him in Ireland today. His odds have been cut from 5-2 to 6-4 by some bookmakers, Steve Collins. And that is quite a lot of money. I don't know whether the Irishmen are chasing their losses from Cheltenham. Those of them who did lose, of course. Big chance of Steve-O rolling round this arena. The suspicion, yet again, and we've said it in so many Eubank fights, that he has to do a wee bit more work.
He certainly does. He has to pick his fight up a little bit more.
Do you get the impression that he thinks he's doing enough here? I think he might be mistaken.
I thought at the end of that round he maybe did, but I'm sure he is mistaken. Again, Collins have good successes there, letting more shots go.
Eubank fights are notoriously difficult to score.
And this one's certainly no exception.
Getting to that stage of the contest, or getting on towards it, where desire plays a huge part, and Eubank has passed that test often enough, and there surely can be no doubting Collins's desire here. Missed with those, really, Collins.
I feel Eubank's got to pick it up. He's got to try and do something big in one of these rounds. I just feel he's slightly getting outworked by Collins.
It's lunging a bit, and Eubank goes onto the floor, and he's down. Body punch, only the 4th time in his career. Eubank will get an 8 count. Crucial breakthrough in the right hand, crashes through as well. Eubank's in trouble here. Well, Collins said he had the extra punch power, and Eubank comes back in terrific style. And what a round this is. Look at Eubank. Suddenly come back with an answer. He's been stung by that. It was the first time he's been down since 1991, Eubank. But he came back with quite an impressive answer. What a round.
Unbelievable round. He came back very well, and I'm sure he heard Collins in there. But was it a knockdown? Was it a good body punch? Certainly landed with a body punch.
Good right hand to the body from Collins. Eubank just seemed to be caught a bit flat-footed with it, and his balance...
He did. He was just standing square on and
backwards.
Very straight up and very square on. He complained to the referee that it wasn't a knockdown, but looking at it there, it certainly was.
Now, do you score that a 10-8 round for Collins with the knockdown?
Well, I think with a knockdown it has to be. He came back very well there. Good right hand, seemed to hurt Collins, but I think Eubank has it all to do now.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Now, what is his answer to this crisis, Chris Eubank? Round 9. Collins, we think, is ahead. And now, Eubank may be prepared to really gamble. We know that he can land some big punches. And he packs a real whack. But Collins has got a great chin. He's proved that time and time again, going the distance with Mike McCallum, among others. Mike McCallum, one of the greatest fighters of the modern era. Ninth round. This is the round in which Eubank stopped Nigel Benn in their famous fight in Birmingham. And Collins shows no signs of letting up the pressure, and he's getting through again. Is Eubank's title slipping away here?
Good moments again from Collins. Eubank has to do something special. He's got to pull a big one out, and he's trying with that right hand.
Key phase of the fight now. Collins seemingly with the points lead and with the knockdown. Can Eubank turn things around? Can he turn the fight on its head? He's been caught again. Good, accurate work. And the Irish crowd, a lot of them, were on their feet as those punches got through. They're going to lift the roof off this place, I tell you, if Collins takes Eubank's title away. And that, at the moment, is more than a possibility. Breathing a little heavier too, Eubank.
He isn't confidence flowing from Steve Collins. Got a spring in his step now.
Well, don't say Steve Collins didn't tell you he was going to put on a really sensational performance tonight. But things could still change. One punch could turn this all around. Oh, down goes Eubank again at this time. Only a slip. Only a slip. Eubank just shakes his head.
But Eubank looks tired. His hands are down and he's taking deep breaths.
Chris Eubank is in serious trouble here. The right hand punch from him was a good one, but he needs a lot more of that. Oh, crashing left hand, but Collins takes the punches as the bell goes to end that round. Eubank punches the air, but Steve Collins here is having a very big night at the moment.
Yes, again, I think he just edged the round. It's all going so well for Steve Collins.
Eubank looked a bit desperate with that, didn't he?
He did, and Collins gets through again here. There, he gets him on the ropes and just keeps his arms pumping to get more points. And listen to the crowd, unbelievable.
Well, they think that this is going to be an Irish glory night.
Here again, good work from Collins. He's got Eubank on the back foot.
And that's the way that the family are responding to it all. Living every single second. There are 9 minutes remaining for Chris Eubank to salvage his WBO super middleweight championship. And this is 15th defense, and the right hand's got Collins. The right hand's got Collins. Mandatory 8 count and another twist in the plot. He's okay, I think.
He looked at the corner and said he was okay straight away, but he went down heavy. It was a good right hand.
But was that a massive turning point? There's Eubank's answer for you. Never doubt this man's championship spirit. Now, has Collins' head really cleared? Or has Eubank got him going? It was right at the start of the round. There's a long time left in this 10th round. Collins is trying to dance. But Eubank is digging in some hurtful-looking punches now.
Collins moving around, trying to get these few vital extra seconds. But another good
right and a left. Collins must somehow get through this round. That might have taken quite a bit out of him. And I wonder whether just one more punch like that from Eubank may make the crisis a very deep and alarming one indeed for Steve Collins.
Yes, his legs still don't look solid. He's trying to bounce around and he's trying to get something back into them. But he was caught with 2 good right hands.
Eubank is talking to him in there. What do you think he's saying?
I think he's just trying to lull him into a false sense of security. He's trying to bring Collins in, trying to make a mistake so he can counter.
They're both saying, come on, come on. I think they both want the other to lead so that they can counter. 2 old pros, and a knowing smile, I think, passed between them for a split second there. As so always when there's angry words in the build-up, as there were to this fight. These two gaining an extremely healthy respect for each other. Should Eubank be really going for it here?
I think he should. I think he doesn't realise. He thinks he's maybe closer than I think it is. Good right uppercut there.
This is a big round for Eubank, but has he really cashed in on that initiative? He's stepped back, and Collins has had some vital time to just let his head clear and just get his foothold back in the fight. He was in trouble in the early seconds of the round, and I was kind of expecting a Eubank barrage really for the rest of the round. That has not happened. That was a slip. Nothing more as the bell goes, but that was a 10-8 round for Chris Eubank. Just to explain, the rounds normally scored 10 points to the winner, 9 to the loser. If there's a knockdown, it would be scored 10 points to 8. It's like winning 2 rounds in 1.
And here's the action. Big right hand, right on the button, and he went down pretty heavily. But straight away there was a little smile. He looked over his corner to say he's okay. And there it is again, right on the button.
It was a pretty close run thing there. That was the agony with his wife Gemma. And they wondered if his superb performance might end tearfully. But Collins got through the 10th round.
2 rounds. Forward, go forward. Go forward, stop him.
Ronnie Davis in the corner.
Stop him. Come on.
Go forward and stop him, says Ronnie Davis. I think they sense that Eubank still will probably be behind on the scorecards, but that certainly will have cut back Collins' advantage that last round. And there's only 6 minutes left now. Well, I did wonder whether we were going to have another of those close calls tonight, and we might be heading that way again. There is Glenn McCrory's card. Steve Collins still has 3 points ahead. That's, of course, extremely unofficial. It's the 2 Puerto Ricans and British judge Roy Francis who will score this.
Yes, and you get the feeling in the corner when Ronnie Davis left Chris Eubank there that Ronnie Davis still thought he had a bit to do. Maybe he'll live to regret not taking his opportunity. And not the 10th round.
Interestingly, Glenn, we've just done a little straw poll among some of the pressmen at ringside. They've got it very close. Few of them have Eubank a round up. And this is so much, of course, a matter of opinion.
Yes, lots of the early rounds are very close.
And a lot may depend on how they were scored by the judges. All the shoulder of Eubank crashing into the draw of Collins there. All part of the rough and tumble. Collins made to miss, hopelessly and caught by the jab. Sharper work from Eubank here. He looks tired now, Collins. Arm punches from him. And Eubank looks the stronger man to me at this stage.
He does, and Eubank's making him miss better as well this round.
Ronnie Davis there in the corner. Works with him every day. Wondering how this one's going to go. Eubank takes a deep breath and contemplates his next move. Better punches now from Eubank. Really sharp jab. Oh, that was a good right back, though, from Collins.
He's recovered very, very well. Eubank making a miss there. Good defense. But not with that right hand.
We're really into the home stretch now. Collins, after starting impressively, is taking increasingly more punches. There's a much sharper look about Eubank's work, and he must surely have taken that round.
Yes, I think he got that round. He certainly thinks he has. He's walking around with a smile on his face, punching the air.
the look of a man who believes he has this in the bag.
Well, listen to Ronnie Davis. He's saying you're 3 rounds behind. You've got to stop him to win this fight.
It's all on this round, boy.
Now, so many conflicting opinions here.
Do what I say. 3 rounds behind. You've got to stop him, mate.
3 rounds behind. You've got to stop him, mate.
You've got to knock him out. You can do it. Don't you knock him out. You've got to work steady. Steady yourself up. All out throwing bombs. No wild ones.
No wild ones, says Ronnie Davis. But I don't know whether Ronnie Davis believes he's 3 rounds behind or whether he's just trying to urge his man into one last effort. It must be pretty close again here as they touch gloves. The final 3 minutes. But one thing strikes me, try telling this big Irish crowd that Collins is not ahead. But the press, or a few of them anyway, think Eubank might be leading. Eubank, who's really letting the punches rip in this last round. Collins looks very, very tired now.
Yes, he's tired and he's taking shots and the crowd trying to will him on.
He looks like a man who might have fought his fight, Collins. And look at this. Guts, he comes back. And Eubank really does want to have a tear up with him now. Sensing that he may be behind, and there's a butt in there as well from Eubank, as well as the right hand. Some finish. There certainly was a clash of heads in there as Eubank charged in. Oh, big right from Eubank. Collins took it very, very well indeed. Just as we were indicating earlier, so often the case, Eubank finishes in storming style quite often.
It certainly is a tremendous last round to a tremendous fight.
Inside the last 90 seconds of the contest. Now there's a cut by the left eye of Collins. It's too late to matter. How are the judges scoring it? Decent left uppercut in there, almost thrown off balance by Steve Collins. Both of them dredging up the last pieces of strength. Eubank holds his hands aloft as if to say to this crowd, I'm in control of this now.
I still feel Eubank needs something very big. Can he deliver?
Are you watching the last moments of Chris Eubank's reign, or has he done enough again? Cut by the eye of Collins gets worse, but there are only seconds left now. And this is going to be a cliffhanger. It's surely going to the judges. You can hardly hear yourself thinking here now. The crowd trying to urge Collins through this last half a minute. These last 6 minutes must have seemed like an eternity to him. He's been fighting really on instinct with the batteries going ever flatter. For the last couple of rounds, they both hold up their hands aloft. Who's got that? We shall see. Barry Hearn shakes his head at Eubank as if he thought he might not have won it. There's a despondent look about Ronnie Davis as well. Collins' camp think they have the decision. Now, what about you, Glenn? How did you score that?
Well, I thought the last round was a Eubank round, but I think Collins has won the fight by 1 point.
There's Mum. Is this a great night for her son? There's Glenn's card. He has Collins a 1 point winner. I have scored the fight dead level, for what that's worth. Two Puerto Rican judges to decide this. Collins down in round 10. His wife Gemma into the ring with him. He believes he's got it. And we're all on tenterhooks here. Has Eubank been beaten for the first time in 10 years in his 20th World Championship fight? Glenn McCrory, world champion himself at cruiserweight, thinks he has. Press opinion behind me. Close. Balanced. Some are saying Eubank. Some are saying Collins. I wonder whether we might even get the old draw here.
Yes, it could very well happen, a very, very close fight. But I thought Collins just did enough. Maybe I was swayed by the crowd a little bit, but I just felt Ronnie Davis was right when he said, you need something big. He was trying to will his man on. He knew he needed something big.
Eubank, I've got a draw, Eubank is saying. I've got a draw. Sorry. Well, I don't know whether that's advanced information. How often have we been through this scenario, though, with Chris Eubank? Arguments about who's won it. There'll be more raging after this.
I think the Irish crowd certainly think Steve Collins has took the title away from Chris Eubank.
Some of the crowd are singing "On Your Bike" to Chris Eubank. Let's hope that everybody is sensible here, whatever the judges have come up with. We're going to get the decision any moment, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judge Roy Francis scored the contest 114 to 116. Judge Cesar Ramos scores the contest 111 to 115. And Judge Isabel Fernandez scores the contest 113 to 114. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and the new...
Collins has won it! Steve Collins carries out his pledge and inflicts the first defeat ever on Chris Eubank. The judges seeing it by 2 rounds, 4 rounds and 1 rounds respectively. Eubank is beaten for the first time ever, and this time the judges did not save him. What a night! Congratulations to Steve Collins. What a breakthrough for him. He now has 2 world championships at middleweight and now super middleweight. What about that, Glenn?
Certainly, well, an unbelievable night, an unbelievable fight, and Steve Collins has won the title. He's unbelievably happy. It all come right for him, all his preparation. He said in Las Vegas last week, bet anything you want on me, I will be champion, and he's done it.
Seeing is believing in Millstreet in County Cork. And it's something that we thought we may never see. Chris Eubank, 44 fights, 1 defeat. We have a new WBO World Super Middleweight champion. It was very, very close, and the longer it went, the closer it seemed to get. When we come back, we'll be hearing from the new champion, the vanquished former champion, and 1 or 2 others who've enjoyed an unforgettable night here in County Cork. See you in just a moment.
That was something else, sir.
Champion Steve Collins. Steve, what a night for you that.
I had no doubt I was going to win. Those people who did doubt me, I forgive them. It's not your fault. Don't believe in the hype. Believe in the man, Steve Collins. I'm not just the best Irish fighter ever. I'm the best pound for pound in the world. Ry Jones. Who's next?
Did you feel at the end of that, Steve, that you had won it, that you were clear after the knockdown in the 10th?
I had no doubt I'd win. I had no doubt I'd win. No doubt at all. I haven't fought for 10.5 months, and look how easy I fought tonight. I've been inactive for nearly 11 months.
How much was an influence was your hypnotist? There was a lot made of that before the fight. How big a factor was that?
We fooled the world. Tony Quinn is a good friend of mine. I was out in Vegas on my own due to not managerial problems, but my trainer was caught up here behind. I had to go to Vegas on my own. I needed company. The pressure was on. I brought Tony Quinn with me, put my mind at ease, helped me out while I was there alone, and confirmed what I always knew, that I would win the world title.
There was a bit of bad blood between you and Eubank before the fight. What are your feelings about him now, after having been in there for 12 rounds with him?
He was born to be the world champion. Twice. All I said was, I'm going to win. He's the one that came out with the nasty references. He said things about me which are untrue, which I'll be seeking legal advice on. I'm an honest fighter. I'm the most honest fighter. I am the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And who's going to prove me wrong? Nobody. And if anyone thinks they can, bring them on. What does this fight mean to you? Because you described it beforehand as your gateway to millions. It's my gateway to millions. My next fight is, don't talk to me less than £1 million, Barry. Because you're going to get a cut over, so we want more than $1 million. And on St. Patrick's weekend here, this is going to be some night, isn't it? Let me tell you something. I went away to Vegas on my own. I left my wife, my kids. I haven't seen my wife for 6 weeks, my kids for 6 weeks. I put everything into this fight. I haven't fought for 10.5 months. If I'd been more active, I'd have stopped them, I'd have knocked them out. A bit of ring rust there, but I lost it tonight. My next fight, I'll be 10 times better. Believe me, I can be better than that. Who do you want next? Would you like Ben, Roy Jones? Nigel Benn, wherever the money is, I'll take him. And I hear hints that Sugar Ray Leonard wants to make a comeback. Sugar Man was the world champ when I was in the top 10. When I was US champ, Sugar Ray was middleweight champ. I wanted Sugar Ray. There's whispers in Vegas. I've been out there. He wants a comeback. Come on, Sugar Man. It's my turn. Many congratulations, Steve. Well done. Here's Barry Hearn. Barry Hearn, who's in the unique position with Matchroom of having both fighters in the camp, Chris Eubank and Steve Collins. Now, Barry, Chris Eubank has been beaten for the first time. What was your reaction to all of that?
Well, reaction was, there's no question that Steve won the fight. The judges called it dead fair, as we knew they would. There's been a lot of criticism about judges from Puerto Rico favouring Chris Eubank. Both of them scored the fight for Steve Collins. It's boiling hot in here, I'm sorry. It was a great fight. It was a great fight. 2 knockdowns. Chris came back, you know. Chris came back when he was really, I thought, well behind after 6 rounds, but he couldn't come back enough. And Steve Collins, you've got to take your hat off to him. He's a dedicated professional. He's an underrated professional. And tonight he showed the world what he can do.
I wonder now whether we might see a rematch. Thanks, fellas.